Hello everyone, welcome back to Firebird Plays FTL. Today we're going to be jumping straight back in with the usual layout and the usual setup. I am not going to need to explain it anymore. As I mentioned in the last episode, I've joined the FTL or AFTL Discord. I'm sure there's more than one, but I've joined an FTL Discord where I've gotten a lot of handy tips from everyone, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to finally implement those to a level that you're all satisfied and try and get the win finally for the first time on this series, preferably using this ship so that we unlock a new one. Just taking a little bit of damage early here because of these intruders. I'm going to get this human here on standby, kind of trying to fight to make sure we didn't lose our oxygen, and I'm going to need to pull Arthur away here in a second, which I've done, and I'll send in Jay McKell. We shouldn't have any problem here just because there was only two of them. Would have been a bit interesting if there was more than a couple. We don't need to play with fire there, and we can successfully get everyone out without losing a crew member. Otherwise I would have just restarted, obviously. So two sectors now, sorry, two beacons now with no scrap, but that's okay, it's very early on. The extra point in engines early. We're going to hit these two beacons and the distress beacon before we hit the store. Give us the most chance of getting a bit of scrap before we move forward. Okay, so we get ourselves into a fight, and unfortunately we're not going to have anything for to get our combat drone out there. So I'm actually going to take down the ion blast and put the points in the combat drone, and we're going to need oxygen as well. Because they don't have shields, we don't have shields, we're just going to need to wait for a combat drone to take them down. Hopefully we don't take more than a couple of hits. I fired an ion blast early, which is pretty good. And a laser beam does come in, does come in and do 1 damage. But our drone does the hard work and takes out the ship. And we pick up 23 scrap and 3 fuel for our trouble. I'm going to get to here, distress beacon in the store. By that point I think the wave will be getting quite close. We will attack the pirate, and I'm going to shut these doors which I opened at the start for some reason. Shields would be a good idea, wouldn't it? And we lose our oxygen as a result of that and pick up a bit of damage to our hull. That was my mistake. I always forget to put them back on after losing them from the ion. We need to put a point of ion damage onto their engines here to make sure they don't get away. That's a pretty good offer, but we're not going to accept it because we're after scrap this early. Delay their jump and we'll be able to take them down after only taking the 1 damage. So not too bad, all things considered. We pick up 22 scrap and contact the settlement, and they give us another 11 and we get some fuel as well. So distress beacon store, and then I'm going to see if I can hook around and hit this other store on the way back up. Send our crew in a shuttle to try put out the fire, and we pick up 29 scrap. Didn't grab the crew member, but that's okay. Should probably think about healing the mid bay. So we get to a store, there's 3 humans for sale and a few weapons which I'm not really interested in, so I'm going to leave it. Not sure if we're going to manage to get to the second store, but I'll have a crack at it. Let's just quickly heal this up. And depending on what's available at the store, I'll grab those second level shields straight away. I think I'm going to struggle to reach it, but let's see how we go. Aid the civilian ship. Once again, looking for as many parts as we can. So picked up on, I think it's now 2 people that have mentioned it, that I need to not power the med bay and instead put the extra power in engines to increase our evade chance, which I'm now doing. Hopefully that'll save me a bit of scrap and repairs, and also make me a little harder to deal with earlier on. And I'm going to get those level 2 shields straight away. As I was told, that's sort of the first thing I should be grabbing. Contact the civilian ship, and we pick up an ion bomb. So that's pretty cool. Does require missiles, and we don't have the weapon power for it. I'll think about selling it. I'll see how we go. I am going to manage to get to the store, which is good news. Unfortunately, we don't have any missiles. So we'll jump to this store, see what they have available for us. It's a pretty good store, having two pages. I would have loved to get a scrap recovery arm if it was available, but that's not going to be possible. Thinking about getting a 4th crew member early. Not really interested in these weapons, or maybe I am. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to upgrade shields to level 2. And then jump to 3 more beacons before we leave the sector. Trying to go against my instinct, because a lot of the time my instinct has just been wrong, and it's gotten us in the mess that we've been in. Not so much a mess, but I mean, there's been a lot of close calls. You know, the last 3 or 4 2-part episodes we've gotten to the flagship fight, and just haven't quite been geared enough. You know, like if we had another 150 or 200 scrap, we wouldn't have been in a much better position. I need to actually power my level 2 shield. It's a couple of times I've done that. So we only got the single reward there. We will be able to get to this one and then jump to 1 more before the exit. Been a pretty good sector so far. We're not going to pay their toll, obviously. We're going to get into a fight here. So with level 2 shields and a couple points in engines, I'd be surprised if we managed to take any damage here. Especially now that we hit their weapons partially. And the pirate ship goes down. Picked up 24 scrap and 3 fuel. Got 1 more beacon before we get to the exit. I think we've done a really good job of hitting as many beacons as possible, even though we had 3 or 4 with no reward. Our route here this time was perfect, so we will attack the rebels. Toughest fight that we've had in the sector, but I think with the level 2 shields we've got, the extra evade, we're not really at risk of taking any damage, but that missile wasn't ideal. We're going to need to put 2 Engi on it just to make sure that we heal the breach and the oxygen quick enough. Oxygen comes back online, and the rebel ship nearly goes down. We're probably going to take 1 more hit, unfortunately, from the missile. No, it missed, and we managed to get out. We picked up 12 scrap, a missile, and a drone part, and we'll steal the supplies as well. Took damage to our hull, a little bit of fire as well. I'm going to put the fire out this way. Okay, fire goes out, and we can now get ready to go in and repair the weapons in a minute. And we'll send Styles back in to get our weapons back online. And we'll look to jump to the 2nd sector now. All good to go, so we'll jump now. We've got either a Zoltan or an Engi. I'm going to go with the Engi because we've got a couple of Engi crew members, so we might get a couple of blue options. And then we also have the choice of a civilian or a hostile sector as our 3rd. Store straight away. Might jump to it because if we jump to this one, then we're going to have to double up, which isn't the best use of our fuel or time. See if there's a weapon here. I wouldn't mind picking one up. There is a fire beam. Does no physical damage, it ignites fire. Not the best option. Laser charger. Charge 2 times. We can get the flak. I'm going to go with the flak, and we're going to sell the ion bomb. And I might grab a Zoltan and put him on shields. Kirby or Vincent? Definitely Kirby. Always Kirby. So we'll put him on shields. Gain an extra reactor power for doing that. And we pick up a fire beam anyway that we just passed on buying. So this could be an option. It doesn't do damage, so it's not the best, but it might be worthwhile using earlier on. Probably going to hit the bottom cluster just because there's more of them. Might go to this one first and then move down through the bottom right kind of corner. They want 3 fuel. Let's give it to them. We've got a quest marker. Oh, sorry, we got 3 fuel for helping them. So we've got a quest marker. So we'll jump here, finish the quest, and then I reckon go down and do this little constellation down the bottom right. Nothing here, but we can move to the quest beacon next. And we pick up 40 scrap, which is pretty good at this stage of the run. Might even be worth me going 1, 2, and then sort of around in a anti-clockwise circle. I think that's what I'm going to do. Try and hit the store again at the end. Big 40 scrap, which is good. Without needing to get to a fight. We'll have time to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Probably going to be pretty close, but if I don't, I'll be able to go to the exit, maybe? Actually, maybe not. 1, 2, no, I'm not. So I'm going to go to the distress beacon instead. And then go to the one next to the store instead. Let's try to shield their shit with ours. We pick up 14 scrap. And we couldn't save them, but that's okay. We didn't take any damage. We will attack the ship. So level 2 shields coming in handy there as we deflect both shots from their laser and we take them down without taking any damage. Good signs there, 27 scrap and 2 fuel. We'll jump to the store and then probably just manage to get to the exit. Another 2-page store. Pretty happy with that. Do we want to pick up another crew member? I'm just trying to think. Stun bomb, hull laser. Hull laser could be a good idea, but we don't want to take up another weapon that's going to require 3 power. Firebomb, we've already got the 5 beam, so let's leave all of those. I'm going to leave the crew for now because 4 is going to be enough. I'm not going to buy anything from here. I'm going to jump to the exit, which we can just get to without getting into a fight, which is good. We'll move in to examine the station. We pick up 15 scrap. Okay. The next sector, we're going to go to the Mantis Control. We want to get into a few fights here. Thinking about dropping some scrap into upgrading our weapons now so that we can use one of these secondary weapons. But let's first jump to this top left beacon and then move to the store and see what they have there. If we can swap this fire beam for a different kind of beam. Side with the fugitive and fight the Engi ship, or agree to offer up the Mantis in exchange for a bounty. I think we'll offer up the Mantis in exchange for a bounty. We get 48 scrap, but we take 5 damage. We've got a little fire that we should be able to put out pretty easily by using our door system. Hopefully it's not going to jump to one of these next door rooms. It does. That's okay. Get everything sealed back up. And we'll jump to this this store that was next to us. $200 scrap here, so if there's a good weapon, we'll definitely be able to pick it up. Pike beam, pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna sell the fire beam here. Grab the pike beam. Now I just need to work out whether I want the flak gun 2, which fires 7 shots, or the flak gun 1, which fires 3. So what's that? 3 and 10, or 7 and 21. I think I'm gonna go with just the flat gun 1. Then again, the pike beam's going to take 16 seconds to charge anyway, so maybe we're better off having the flak 2 charging the 5 extra seconds and definitely taking down shield. Let's do that. I know we're not going to be able to run this setup for a while until we put a lot of scrap into upgrading our weapons, but I think this is going to give us the best chance of fighting the flagship, so we're going to go with it. Do I want any of the augments? I don't think so. Probably do want the drone recovery arm as well, so we'll pick up all that. We spent a bit of scrap there, but we did make a lot of scrap in the first two sectors that we went in, so I'm not too concerned about that. Next upgrade, we'll be putting a couple more points in weapons so that we can at least get the pike beam going, which will realistically, in conjunction with the ion and the combat drone, give us a really good chance of taking out any ship up until the 4th or 5th sector, I would imagine. And the manta ship will go down. Fortunately, we take one more hit from a missile, but we pick up 37 scrap, which isn't too bad. Down to 50% hull, so I might consider putting a couple points into it next opportunity we get, but it's not too urgent at this point. So nothing here. We're going to upgrade our weapons 1, 2, and get an extra reactor power. Take a point out of the med bay, and we'll be able to use the pike beam now, as well as the combat drone. So this should be a really effective setup. As we rip through along here, probably don't want to go that far back, so we'll go to this one. This should be a great demonstration of taking down shields and using the pike beam to cut across the ship. We demand the surrender of their goods. They're trying to get away early, so I'm going to need to get the combat drone out there. Might get shot down here. And I'm going to try and get a couple of ion points in on their weapons just to make sure we don't take too much damage. Sorry, just to make sure they don't escape, sorry. Pike beam's nearly ready to go. We're going to ion hit off on their shield here. It's just gone through there, and now the pike beam's going to cut them in half. So that was really effective. Chain burst laser, I will consider it, but I'm pretty happy with our setup. 29 fuel, 29 scrap. Need to think about getting some fuel. We'll search among the stores, see if someone will sell to us. No, that's okay. I'm going to save a drone part here, because if I keep ironing their weapons, they don't have shields, so I should not be able to get hit and then use the pike beam to pretty much cut through the entire thing. Yeah, so both their weapons are down, and when the pike beam's up next, we'll be able to cut through. Got 17 drone parts anyway, but I'm still trying to be conservative with the resources when we can. There wasn't really a need to expend one there. The auto ship goes down. 2 fuel helps with the situation a little bit, and 34 more scrap. Jump to here, I think it's going to give us a few more options. And we'll attack this ship as well, this time sending a combat drone out there to help. We have been boarded. Gonna send our pilot in to upgrade the doors and then open the doors so that we can start to suffocate the intruder out of here. Pike beam's nearly ready to go. And I think we're gonna go something like this, which hits 5 rooms including weapons and shields. The pike beam really paying for itself early, making these fights extremely easy. This Mantis is going to take a bit more damage, and then he's going to get finished off by Styles up here. And I'll start to shut the doors. Drop a point into the med bay. Get Styles down there. Oh, he'll be okay. Take that point back out of the med bay. Oop, tiny bit more. And we're good to go. So jumping forward, do we want to go to the store? I don't think we really do, although we kind of do need fuel. And then we might get 2 more beacons in after that. I'm going to buy all the fuel they've got. Shield charge booster could be something worth getting. Thinking about getting the defense drone actually, as well as all their fuel, just because missiles seem to do a fair bit of damage to us later on. I'll leave it for now. There'll be an opportunity to get it later, and we probably want to start thinking about getting our shields up again, or maybe even putting another point in engines. Maybe increase our evade a little bit. Okay, so we just bought a lot of fuel. Might as well buy a bit more because it's quite cheap, and we should get 2 more in before we get to the exit. Solar flare fight. When this pike beam's ready, it's going to do a lot of damage. And the ship goes down. We might even be able to get out of here before we jump. I don't think we will actually. Our FTL is not charging quick enough. Solar flare imminent. It's going to be pretty close. Yeah, we do manage to get out of there. And I'm probably going to have to just go straight to the exit, which I would have liked to get 1 more. But at the same time, I'm not too fast that we didn't. I'm going to repair 10 damage. Get us back to about 75%, and then we'll move on to the Engi homeworlds in the next sector. Jump to here. Actually, we don't really need to hit a store. There's nothing I can buy from a store, apart from maybe another drone and cloaking eventually. These guys have 2 levels of shields. We've got a couple of interesting looking weapons, and we're next to a solar flare, and we've also been mind controlled, so we're going to lose our piloting. So this is going to be probably our best challenge yet, as you would expect, as we just move to another sector. But if we can do enough to the shields, which I think we will be able to, we're going to let the pike beam cut across pretty quickly due to the way their ship is laid out. Can we get 5 in? No, but we can hit a pretty important 4. Which we will. We have lost the pike beam unfortunately, but that should come back online, and our shields have been ioned, so we've only got level 1, but that's now fixed. Have we been mind controlled again? No. I'm going to accept the surrender just because 8 missiles is a lot and 3 fuel is pretty good as well, and we can get out of here without taking any more damage. With the exception of a fire, which chose to pop up right there. Put a point in the med bay, just so that our augment can help a little bit. Might need to pull Kirby out of here actually. Nope, they're going to be all good. I'll pull Kirby over to the med bay. And we're going to jump out of here and head to the distress beacon. Another fight with level 2 shield. Our pipe beam charging up. We do have a boarding drone giving us a bit of grief on the piloting end. Don't really want to fight, but I'm not going to have a choice. I need to start doing some damage to the shields, that's for sure. Okay, now the pipe beam's ready. Oh, that is a lot of rooms. That might actually kill them in 1 hit. Not quite. Did a lot of damage though. We'll keep shields down, pipe beam will finish them off in a minute, and then we'll worry about finishing off this boarding drone. Not going to accept it because it's only 20 scrap. We pick up 32 instead. Probably would have been worth accepting, but we couldn't have known that. We'll get 2 guys in to fix this up before we move on. There's no oxygen in there. These guys healed up as well. All good to move on. There's another distress beacon that we're going to hit. We'll search for the ship. There's a strange stasis pod that catches our eye. Okay. grab the... Right, this is definitely a unlock event. I'm confidently sure of it. I think this unlocks the crystal ship. Let me just get this up. I know it's a little bit scrubbed to be googling this on the fly, but I don't want to mess this up, and I know I'll kick myself if I do. So give me 1 second, guys, while I fix that. Okay. So I think we grabbed the stasis chamber. Yep. And is this a 3-part one? Maybe it is. Let's have a look. Yep. So we grab the stasis ship, and we grab a damaged stasis pod. Okay, so then we need to advance to the second step, which means we can either go to the Engi controlled sector, Engi homeworld, Zoltan controlled sector, or Zoltan homeworld, and we'll find a Zoltan research facility. Cool. Okay, so that's a little side part of our adventure here, which is exciting. It would be great if we could unlock 2 ships on this run, one by completing this mission, and one by beating the flagship finally. We'll upgrade our reactor. It's a pretty good trade for us considering we don't use any missiles and 2 drone parts isn't too significant. We'll do that. I thought we'd be able to get to there and then across, but we're not. So instead we're going to go to this one over here. We'll turn and fight. They've got a lot of health, but only level 1 shield, which isn't going to do them much good in this asteroid field. I just need to work out where I want to cut with the beam. Probably something like that would be good. Yeah, we'll go with that. Make sure we hit the weapons at least once. And by continuously attacking their shields, we'll make sure the asteroid does a little bit of damage as well. As soon as this pipe beam comes up, we're going to be able to take him out. 23 scrap isn't enough, so we're going to ignore that, and they'll go down straight away. So we pick up 43 scrap instead, which is a better result. So we'll just charge up and jump out of here as soon as we can. Jump, and there is a store down there. Not really desperate enough to go there. Getting some more fuel at one point would be a good idea, but we'll have our Engi crew member contact them. We will offer our help. Now we pick up a quest marker. Oh, okay. This is another unlock. This can allow us to unlock. I have done my reading up on these, so I know to spot them, but I don't know exactly. So does this unlock the Federation cruiser, maybe? No. The stealth cruiser. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got 2 quest markers. One of them is going to be fake, the other one's going to be real, and we need to fight a rebel ship. And then a final quest marker will be added on our map. Okay. Are we going to be able to get to all of these? Oh, they're all in the next sector. Okay. We've got 2 opportunities to unlock a new ship here. We're obviously not going to accept this. Those level 2 shields down as quickly as we can. That was really dumb. I fired when the shields weren't down. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer to take these guys out. Hopefully won't have any repercussions in terms of damage, but I did see a big missile just go off. Yep. That's my bad. We won't accept their surrender, just because they did all that damage, and I want them to suffer. So we pick up 3 fuel and 42 scrap, which is good. Give him a hand. Poor Kirby. Well, that comes back online. Arfie and Kirby are nearly ready to go. And we can now move forward. We're going to go here and then to the store and just heal up a tiny bit before we go on to the next sector. And we get ourselves into yet another fight. We're going to have 300 scrap to spend here. I'm thinking about either upgrading our weapon so that we can use the flak cannon, or getting those level 3 shields. We should be able to do one or the other. Okay, pipe beam's ready to go. We'll cut across that way, I reckon. And as the pipe beam charges up again, we'll be ready to cut them in half. Combat drone does its part as well, and we don't take any more damage. Contact the refugee ship. And they're giving us even more stuff, which is good. Actually not going to get to the store because of where the wave is. I'm going to jump to the exit and then we'll look at where we want to put our scrap. We'll get ourselves into one more fight. Trying to get away. We're going to want to make sure our beam does some damage to their engines. Thankfully only level 1 shields. Get flak fired. Okay, the beam is now ready. So we want to hit all of this. Maybe oxygen as well. So their jump's been delayed now. Combat drone starts to do the rest, and our pipe beam will cut them in half right at the end. Take the credit. And we get a new crew member. Cool. Okay. So, Exultant, who's good at fighting. Bit of an oxymoron, but welcome aboard nonetheless. You will be responsible for our drones, and that does give us a extra reactor power. So pretty happy with our 5 crew members. We'll look to get a couple of mantis shortly as well, and the crew teleporter. We have 356 scrap, which is an enormous amount. So I'm going to start putting that into our ship upgrade. Save positions here. So I just need to work out, so what's that going to cost? 100, probably 150, so we'll do that. And we still have 200. Just need to work out our next 2 options. Do we want to go to the rock controlled? Because we've got 2 on the go, right? We've got the Engi fleet, but we've got the, what's the other one? Got the crystal, so we need to find a Zoltan research facility, which we can... No, we can't find in the rock controlled. So that could be... One of these will be the rock homeworld. What's the other one we're looking for? Is the other one going to be in the next sector regardless, I think? Maybe it is. So maybe we want to go to this rock controlled world instead of the nebula. We'll do that. So these quest markers here, they are cool. So we're going to want to get to both of these as quickly as we can. Make sure we have time to go through all of those as we plan. Okay. Is this another chance to trigger the... I think this is another chance to trigger the crystal thing that we already have on the go. So I'm going to take the weapon instead. Because we already have the damage stasis pod, and having 2 of them wouldn't have done anything anyway. So that's pretty cool that that happened. Let's go to this quest marker, which will be fake, and we should have to get into a fight. Yep. Pipe beam nearly ready. We'll wait for one more hit on the shield. Okay, We need to make sure we hit the engines and all of this, which we can do like this. And we've delayed their jump. Demand information on the stolen technology. So I don't think it matters now. So we can let them go, or we can continue the fight. Doesn't make a difference. I think we're going to kill them, because we're in a pretty good spot. Their weapons are completely down. They're not getting out of here. We take them out, pick up hopefully a bit of scrap. Yep, 48, that's a good outcome. Can we upgrade our weapons now? We're going to need all three, so it's going to be 265. So we will be able to, but we won't have the reactor power. So I'll wait until we've got enough to the reactor power as well. Everyone's nearly ready to go. It's going to be the quickest way. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually not that quick too. But this is going to be the best way to do it. And we get in a fight with the rock ship. Thanks to their lovely layout, we are going to do a lot of damage with the flak beam. Hitting a lot of systems while we do that. And we cut them down again with the beam. 26 scrap, not enough. Take them out. 52 is a lot more like it. The store would probably could be a good idea, but I really want to get to this quest beacon as quickly as we can so that we don't risk missing out on this event. Actually going to ignore them just to make sure that we have the most damage that we can, so the most health that we can when we get to the main event. Carefully cut the ship out with our beam weapon. Pick up a bit more scrap there, so we're going to get into another fight here. And this time they've taken out our drone weapon, so it's going to make getting their shields down a little interesting. I'm actually worried they might get away here. That would not be ideal. I need to make sure our combat drone gets out there again as soon as he can. Being shot down again straight away. Okay, so let's get the beam firing. It's not getting through at all. I should have waited. That was a big mistake. Let's swap over onto the engine, see if we can stop them getting away. Okay, so we might be able to delay them a little bit here, and the beam can now cut across. Okay, demand information. Add to the quest marker, we'll let them go. So the last quest marker is back down there. Do we have one more fight when we get to the real one? We do. Okay, we don't have that much health. I'm just trying to think if we're actually going to be able to get to the store and heal up, but we're not. I'm going to go via the exit beam. No, I'm not. Oh, yes I am. I have to. Okay. Hopefully not a fight here. Maybe a chance to heal. We'll just scrap some of the debris. We don't want to risk losing anyone here. Okay, so big fight now. Big chance to unlock a ship. Got heaps of scrap, so I definitely should have just upgraded the weapons. I have no idea why I didn't do that. Need to make sure we don't take much damage here. I definitely should have got the flak upgrade ready to go. It's a big mistake. Pike beam is nearly ready to go. How do we want to go about doing this? So we'll go with that. And shouldn't take too much more damage, even though this missile is going to do a little bit. Our drone's going to finish them off. Beautiful. Ask about Mantis ships. transmit coordinates of Federation Command. And we unlock the stealth cruiser. Beautiful. So no matter what happens, guys, even if we do or don't beat the flagship, we're going to have a new ship for the next video, which I'm pretty excited about. So with that said, we're 40 minutes into the episode. I'm going to hit the stop button. We've now unlocked the stealth cruiser. We still have a chance of unlocking the crystal cruiser. And we're looking in great shape to get all the way through and beat the flagship. So thanks for checking out the first half of this video, guys. I'm going to hit the stop button. Please subscribe if you want to see the second half. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again shortly.